Welcome to the podcast, Dreamy Cappuccino, where stories, musings, and memoirs fill your cup with inspiration. Get your headphones on, find your favorite chair, and close your eyes. It's time to hit the reset button, and for this hot, foamy cloud of caffeine to take you away on a journey into your imagination. It's time to wake up and go to dreamland.
Fish come from heaven, right? There was a seal called Robin, and Robin had been brought up in a seal sanctuary. His mom had been very badly hurt when she was pregnant with him. So Robin had been born in the seal sanctuary, and this was all he knew. His mom, unfortunately, didn't survive long after she had given birth to him, but he found many friends and older seals who looked after him as if he was their own son. The most important thing was that he wasn't alone. This was his life, and he thought it was a good life. Every couple of hours, fish dropped from heaven straight into his mouth, and at times it seemed like there were angels gathered all around him, appreciating to see him eat and clapping their hands with joy. His world consisted of a small water basin he was sharing with his friends to swim small rounds in, but most importantly, it consisted of sticking his head out of the water with a straight body and then circling on the spot so that he could see where the fish would come from, which clouds would spit it out this time, which direction it came flying from this time, and how long it still would take until it happened again. It always seemed such a spectacle. One day, everything changed. Everything. His whole world changed within a single day. Nothing was the same after that. Nothing. The world he knew vanished in front of his eyes. It vanished with a big bang. They took him out of the water basin. He tried to escape and get back into the basin, but they were stronger than him. These beings certainly weren't the angels who usually would cheer him on. They were bad creatures. They stole his world from him. They took his old life away. They took everything he had. They put him into a pitch-dark space without water, and it was rattling and moving. He was completely alone and stricken with panic. He was crying out for his friends, for his dead mom. What was happening? Was this the end of it all? Suddenly, a burst of light hit him straight in the eyes. Many hands lifted him gently up and put him into water. For a minute he hoped that he was back in the water basin with his friends, but no. This was a totally different thing altogether. Yes, there was water, but it was moving into all sorts of different directions, and it didn't seem to have a beginning or an end, and there were many other funny creatures in there, with all sorts of colors. Many of them looked like fish, but they couldn't possibly be because the fish came from the clouds. What they were, Robin didn't know, but he was slightly suspicious of them and didn't think they could be a good thing, being an imitation of something which belonged in another place altogether. The fish he knew didn't move. Robin ventured into the waters, and he was amazed by what he found. This seemed a much bigger basin, and it had things in it he didn't know existed, like rocks and so on. He still didn't understand why he was here, but there seemed nothing he could do about it, and he didn't know how he could get back to his old place, if that still even existed. It had disappeared out of his life. All his friends gone. Would he find new friends? He tried to talk to the rocks, but they wouldn't answer. The fish he ignored because he found it very spooky. Every couple of hours he would stick his head out of the sea and see whether the clouds would rain fish, and he'd look for the cheering angels. But each time he looked, there were neither angels nor fish falling down. No matter which direction he turned himself towards, nothing happened. And Robin didn't understand why. He only knew that he got from hour to hour more hungry. His stomach started to rumble with hunger and agony. In his dismay, he cried out, "What have I done wrong to deserve this? Why do the clouds not rain fish anymore, and where have the angels gone?" Robin grew very hungry. What had he done to be thrown out of his former paradise of abundance into this strange place that somehow wasn't the same? He couldn't figure it out. He got incredibly thin, was hungry beyond belief, and very annoyed with the fish, which seemed like fish but weren't. That must be a joke. The whole universe has turned against me. And he stuck his head out again and shouted, "Come on, clouds, rain with fish. Why is this happening to me? I don't understand. What have I done? Where are the angels?" He got hit by a large tuna fish who had got terribly annoyed with all the shouting in his very own territory. He had decided to give the seal a lesson, since seals usually don't eat tuna fish, and the constant noise just got too much for his nerves. He addressed the stunned seal and said, "For God's sake, stop shouting. You're supposed to eat fish like me, only smaller, and us fish are down here and not up there. Are you blind, idiot?" Still ranting, the tuna fish swam away and left a shocked but somewhat relieved Robin behind. So they were really fish after all, and not just mere imitations. So he could trust his eyes, even though he had been sure that fish came from the clouds. Weird that. He was too hungry to ponder the issue further. He positioned himself somewhere where many fish swam by. He was too weak to chase them and just let them swim directly in his mouth. Was that good? And they even tasted better, fresher. Wow! He still could not believe that he hadn't tried before, that he put himself through so much suffering just because he had assumed that everything worked the same as it had in his old world. And it clearly was a different thing altogether. He couldn't trust which what had worked before would still work now. He only could trust his eyes, his nose, his gut feeling, since things could change so dramatically. This he knew now. In one world, fish fall lifeless from the clouds. In another, they swim around and you actually have to catch them. When Robin had come back to his old strength, he started to catch the fish and invented all sorts of catching games. He stopped looking for angels and clouds, which would rain fish. He started to explore the new world with more and more curiosity. He found other seals that lived together in a community, and they welcomed him to join them. He wasn't alone anymore after all. Yes, he had lost his old world, his old friends and the flying fish from heaven, but he had gained a new world, with new wonders and amazement and new, wonderful friends, just waiting to go on many adventures with him. And Robin, for the first time in his life, felt free and safe at the same time. What a feeling, and he jumped with joy like only seals can.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Dreamy Cappuccino. All stories are written and narrated by Anya Kirsten, with music composed by Chelsea Edwardson. To learn more about their work and creative opportunities, check out the info on the podcast channel and be sure to subscribe. Lastly, don't hesitate if you have a moment to drop a line and share your experience. See you soon when it's time for another dreamy cappuccino.